5 damage boost, but for PvP only. We've got the Parity Drill, which is PvE plus 5 damage, and we've got the Hyperplasmoid, and that's a healing laser, but only healing to those who are your friends. I think the general idea is to get a bit more variety out of the lasers. We appreciate that you've had one set of lasers for a long, long time, or one set of top lasers for a long, long time, and we want to create a bit more variety and alternatives through that. So
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about crafting a little bit. So when these guys, when the event comes out, people are gonna have to craft. So we have three new ores that are gonna be available in the game. Um, so we're gonna have Tetrathrin, which is gonna be gained from completing the daily quests. We have Kylon, which is gonna be gained from completing Galaxy Gate weekly quests, and Biphanon, which is gained as a drop from specific NPCs. Now, these are going to be the three ores you're going to need in order to craft the LF4, the new LF4s, and you'll also need one LF4 in order to. And yes, I will repeat the introduction in a minute for everybody because I understand we had a bad echo there. Um, yeah, so those are going to be the things you need to craft the LF4. Yeah, then you get to pick your track, and you'll have a brand new weapon that has pretty awesome damage. I believe it's on level with the LF4 level 16. Might even be a little bit more when it starts out.
yeah,
With the I believe with the bonus damage, it's going to be more damage from that weapon. So let's go back and introduce the newest member of our team. I think you guys can see him down there in the corner, or you can't. Find your webcam on there. Yeah, you can find your webcam on there, Declan. Go ahead and turn it on. It's one of those. There you go. So
yay, Declan.
that is, ladies and gentlemen, that's Declan, aka OP32. He's our newest CM. I know many of you guys know him from the forums, from the game. He's got many years of experience. Yeah, so you guys have been asking us, we need to get somebody on the team that really knows everything about the game and knows the community better. Hey, look, asking you shall receive. We got him in. Today's his first day in the office. Yeah, we gave him a very warm welcome with an awesome, messed up beginning Twitch stream. It's the way we do things around here. Those of you that follow us know this is how we do things, so it's all good. Hey, but these things happen. We'll get the kinks worked out. Yeah, so actually I promised to tell you guys a little bit about Declan's role. So Declan is being brought on as a game expert. We're very happy that he has years of experience. He's been playing the game, so I believe he said for 7 years now. That's crazy. We've been around for 10 years, so he's been around for almost the whole ride. And I think he might know the most about the game out of anybody on the team now that Sergey's gone. But as you guys know, Sergey was a bit of a rain man, so that's going to be hard to live up to. But yeah, so his role is going to be more just bringing the voice of the community. He's going to be in touch with you guys, really giving the game designers a lot of useful information about what players would think about any kind of new content we want to put in, plus telling our QA what things need to be fixed. He'll be working very closely with Phil in the future. He's already sat in a couple meetings, to get the hang of everything. I'm very excited. So let's, I guess now we can go to some, questions. We can start that out. So, what do we have for questions over here? Hey, Declan, can you scroll on the DarkOrbit moderator chat? Can you scroll up a little bit so we can see the questions? Thanks, man. So, yeah, we always ask this question. You guys have heard this. Will there be something like GPA in the future? The Jackpot Arena, as it existed, will never come back. I can tell you guys that 100%. We're never going to have that event in as it was. That being said, there is some talk about introducing something similar. I can 99.9% tell you it's not going to be for real money. I know that's a little bit disappointing for you guys, but in the end, the Jackpot Arena was never that great for the players. The same people were winning it. There was a lot of cheating going on, which of course is going to happen when you have real money at stake. So in the end, it wasn't really a valuable event to have. I know it sounds very sexy to have an event where you can win, real currency. But in the end, that's inviting a lot of, cheaters. You're going to get people that are cheating. That makes extra work for us to try to catch them. Takes the fun away from the event for you. And it's just something that we're not interested in trying to do again. But something similar, that could happen. All right. Okay.
New shield generators. So we've got the new LF4 types coming. That's not going to be the only upgradable system that's introduced. I can't really go into much more detail about that, but we may deal with one set of issues for us, which is weaponry first, and then look at defenses like second. But it is definitely within a sort of larger plan of creating alternatives and enhancements, allowing you to tool the ship how you want the ship to be tooled, so that it's as good as you want for the certain specific things. If you're doing PvP, PvE, to give you that edge and advantage in the game.
All right, so just a little quick piece of information for you guys, because I know one of my mods is asking me how long we're going to stream. I think we'll shoot for like 30 minutes today since we started a bit late. But yeah, you guys that hung around, Firefox, go ahead and hook them up. They hung with us. They're loyal. Yeah, give them what they want. Get some codes going. All right. So next, question from Booba. Thank you. Can you craft the new lasers using unstable LF4 as a crafting material, or can they only be crafted using the standard LF4?
That's a question.
That is a question, and the answer is you need a regular LF4. Now, the thing is, when you're crafting these new lasers, it by default will select the lowest level LF4 you have. Reason being, there's no difference if you use a level 1 or a level 16 LF4 to craft your new LF4. The level of the laser before that you're using does not impact the new level of the magma drill, and so on. Reason for this is all of those drills, the three new lasers are base level, so they're not upgradable yet. That is something that we want to bring into the future, but for now they're gonna all just be at base level and be the same for everybody. Okay, and I saw a question earlier that you were asking about, the Inferno designs. I know we teased them on Facebook. 5 of you lucky people out there are going to get to own one soon. When is the Obsidian box coming out? I can tell you that it's really soon. I won't give you the exact date, but it's going to be in the very near future. Those will be available in the new Obsidian box. I know you guys like them. The Obsidian boxes are they've been having some pretty cool stuff in it from what I've seen.
New set of designs.
Yeah.
Whole new set of designs.
A whole new set of designs. So it's a brand new Obsidian booty box. But yeah, so it's coming in the very near future. You'll definitely see it I'll push it out on all my social media channels to you guys. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, you know what? Yeah, actually, we can do that. We can have Declan. We can have him come over here and sit on the couch as well, and maybe we can talk to him a little bit because he doesn't need to drive right now. We were gonna have him live playing, but unfortunately, the stream wouldn't catch, so we couldn't have that. We'll have that for you guys next time, though. All right. So Declan, I know you introduced yourself already to the community, and you're well known in the forums and everything. So maybe you can just tell the people in your words what you're going to be doing here.
Well, I'm going to be new community manager, and I'm going to be particularly player focused. So hopefully more Twitch streams that work all right. Start on time. I'll be on the English forum a lot. I'll be going through feedback threads, explaining things, explaining why certain changes are going to be made and how they're going to affect the future, what's going to go into it, and that sort of thing. So it's just generally more player interaction, that sort of thing. Hopefully set some things up, like the Turkish team, they set up a 5v5 tournament. It would be nice to set one of them up once in a while. So yeah.
Yeah, so this is something that he actually talked to me about today. 100% behind it. This is something we can do. We can have, mods versus players. I know it's something that we've also done in the past on our team, and kind of got away with it. But we'll be going back to that. He's going to be spearheading that effort. So yeah, as he said, he's going to be really focused on having a really close relationship with the players, finding out what you guys want. We're going to be going more towards getting your advice and your feedback on stuff before we put it into the game. It's a very interesting program. And yeah, as he gets working on in here, we're going to kind of pass that over to him, and that'll be his baby, his project, is working with game design to bring them your opinions and your feedback about what should be in the game, what should be taken out of the game, what should be fixed, what should remain in the game. These are all questions that we have, and everybody has their own opinions, but we have to, in order to move forward, it's a 10-year-old game. We have to make changes, but we want to make the most informed changes possible, and that's one of the main reasons we brought him on. I know we're all very happy to have him here. Okay, so there's a question here, and it's something. This is about the permanent LF4 event, and something that I think maybe Phil can tackle here. What is the advantage to players? So people are thinking maybe they have fully upgraded LF4s. What is the advantage given here when they transfer to one of the 3 new permanent LF4 types?
Well, the idea is to, as I said before, is to give a variety of combat and combat styles within the game, a variety of possibilities and potentials. As I said, the LF4s aren't the only thing that will be upgradable in specific ways in the future, but we need to judge and evaluate every change that we make and how they react and how you react to them. In general, the feedback's been good initially, as far as I'm aware, and we think that it's a good way to go. We've been too long sitting with just LF4s at the top of the tree, and by changing them, by adapting them and by altering them, then things happen, and it allows us to hopefully adapt the gameplay more and adapt other things. At the moment, I'm looking at all the NPCs in the game and how they lie and how they work, and it's how they operate. So but there's a lot of changes coming in. We're increasing the size of the design team at this point in time, and with that we're sort of developing new strategies and new things that we can do. There's a lot of tools that we haven't had in place initially, and it's important to get those tools right and make sure that they work and that they benefit you, so you have a better player experience.
Yeah, and that's good. I think you kind of hit on one of the questions I saw on there as well. When are we going to be getting new NPCs with better rewards and new rewards? Yeah, and Phil's currently working on that. Not really, not so much the new NPCs, but getting all the ones that we already have in order. As you guys know, we have a fairly old game and we have some technical issues, and these come down to coding things and development issues. But these are things that we're working through and we're going to get fixed. You should see the amount of Excel spreadsheets this guy has to go through. It's I don't even want to say that word around you, man.
No. But I see Lyra was asking about the Nemesis. It's just I must have done a description of that sometime recently. Potentially. So yes.
It seems like that might be coming soon.
That's an event maybe that we would
I know we've said that a couple times in the past, but I mean it this time, I guess.
Soon.
Yeah.
Real soon.
This one's real soon, so it's we're good. Yeah, you can head off. Hey man, it's been good to have you here.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah, take care. He's got to go. He's got to go get a haircut. So yeah, you can come back looking good.
Yeah, something that Ron and me haven't had the trouble with for quite a while now. One of the things we definitely introducing are some new ships.
Yeah, for sure. You guys will be getting some information about that soon. I've already, the mods, this is one of our programs that I'm working on, so our mods already know about this stuff coming in. There are new ships coming, and yeah, very soon. As actually the next event, we can talk about a little bit. But we'll do a little bit more of the Q&A here, and then we'll get into that next event thing. Because that's a whole nother bag of worms there. Okay.
Will there be any NPCs like the cubes or harder? Yeah, it's my idea to bring in new NPCs. And with the new NPCs, explore new areas of space.
Okay. What were the results of your latest poll? So the survey results, thank you guys very much for taking part in the survey. We haven't gotten back all of our results yet, but once we do, I will, of course, let you guys know. I'll be putting together a report about all that stuff. That's part of my responsibilities here. And, we'll see what you guys think and see what you guys want. I'm actually quite excited to see. Apparently, we had pretty good participation. And, yeah, I'm excited to see how you guys answered.
Firefox PvP Quests was actually in a meeting today, and it was a reasonably large part of that meeting today. One of the things that we haven't had is a specific quest person on the team. That's one of the reasons I'm here. So it is something that we are definitely looking at now, because we want to introduce new content on top of that, something that the meeting was about, which we can't discuss at this point in time because I'd be shot. No, because that's the case, and it's really, really important that we get that right so that we can then introduce even more content for you to engage with fairly regularly.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw it. Sivanito, one of our devs, he's actually on Discord right now, which if you're not on, join. He's on there right now. He's currently, right now, actively working on the PvP missions. So we're working on it. It's a work in progress. And I know there's a lot of stress from players saying, hey, why do you keep introducing new stuff while you could be fixing old things? The answer is we do both. That's why. We have to do both. You have to, you understand, we want to bring out new content. We want exciting new things for players to do. But we also know we have our eyes on the issues and we want to fix them. And I know it's been tough in the past. I can tell you now our team is, we're kind of at full strength. We're ready to go. We got some new people on the team. And we're attacking the bugs like never before. I think the other week we went from something like, I forgot the numbers, but we ended up going down, I think it was 8 or 9% on the actual amount of bugs we had on our list to fix. That might not sound like a high number, but when you go for a long time without a lot of action being taken, that's a sizable chunk. And I'm sure you guys will continue to see this, keep rolling like that. Yeah, it's a work in progress. That's all I had to say about that. What else do we have on the question side here? So I see a lot of the questions here. Unfortunately, these are balancing questions, and that stuff that kind of goes more towards Eldon, who's unfortunately out sick today, as I said earlier. If he's watching here, get well soon, man. Yeah, so that's more his realm. So we have, Phil is now definitely working on with the game design team, but he has kind of a different focus than Eldon does. So a lot of these questions would be stuff that would be a lot more in Elton's realm, but we'll try to answer anything we can. So any tournaments, 2 versus 2, 5 versus 5, like on Euro 216.
That'll be something I want to set up.
There you go. See, there you go. So that's something we can say. I can say yes, there will be tournaments because we have him. He wants to set it up. Declan's coming in here motivated, wanting to do this stuff.
It won't be like tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you mean it won't be tomorrow, Declan? But one of the things, actually, can you two swap places? Because a couple of people said they can't hear you, Declan, and Ron, I think you and me are much louder as people.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Declan, give us some thoughts on your first day.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been, apart from the Twitch, starting off the Twitch, it's been good.
Well, I don't know if you know the history of our Twitch stream, so my first one went off like this. I think we're going to keep on...
It's like a curse. Bring someone new on and it happens.
I think we're going to keep on doing this. It's kind of fun in a way. It's a little bit frustrating when you're hitting buttons. I don't know if you guys don't see our board here we have for sound, but there's all kind of buttons on it, and I'm not afraid to admit that I'm not the most technical person in the world.
We had 3 people in trying to fix it. So.
But we'll get it fixed. We'll get that tightened up. Hopefully, we won't have any issues in the future with that. You know, we have. Luckily, we had Flips here today. He helped out in the chat. Yeah, long live the Flips. You guys all know him. Yeah, so let's keep things moving.
So, Discord members positive about having OP, having a player on the big chair. First impressions.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah,
Good.
It's good that I get to do all the player interaction, and then I'll be working close with game design as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they say, "Well, what would the player think of this?" And I'll just be like, "I think this."
Yeah, so you guys can rest assured that now you have a very strong voice within our meetings, with our game design meetings, our team meetings. That's gonna really be voicing your opinions and really trying to change the way that we develop for this game, and you know, really bring things in the players want, you know, the content that you guys are asking for. You know, I'm excited as well to work closer with him. You know, he's going to be doing more of the game expert stuff. I'll be handling some of the other things. You know, on just more on like a scheduling level. But I'm excited. I think it's a really good move from the whole team. I was really excited when I first heard that he was joining the team. Just because it gives us, you know, just a really good person, a really good subject matter expert to go to when we have questions.
Ron, will rants be removed?
Oh, okay.
That's another question that came up today.
Ranks. I can say this. Removed? I'll say most likely not. We don't want to take away ranks. You know, the people that are on top of the ranks, they've earned those rights. You know, they should be happy. That being said, I want to see some sort of an introduction of some new ranks, some new leaderboards, to give people a chance to actually compete. Now the ranking system, you know, it's kind of archaic, and it's not really relevant now. And I want the ranks to be relevant in the game. I enjoy that. I want competition. I don't want somebody sitting on top of the board that is just, you know, uncatchable. That's no fun for anybody. You know, it's like if we got into a race, we go to a 100-meter race, and, you know, we got Usain Bolt against us. We don't stand a chance, and we're never going to stand a chance, you know. But, you know, that's a work in progress. It's something that I bring up in almost every meeting. So, yes, we will be doing some changes. When? I can't tell you. It's going to be in the future. I would say more in the further future than in the near future.
There's a question there about the new group gate. Maybe there will be. Potentially sooner rather than later. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Just talking about new content, I'll still be doing the update preview stuff for all the players. Yeah, so now that I'm here, I can do like better quality ones. So.
Yeah, you guys see, sometimes we do some really smart things. Like, you know, as you guys know, my man here was always the one that got you guys the hot content, fresh off the press. Wasn't even supposed to be off the press yet. So what's the best way to stop leaks? You just hire the person that makes them. There you go. And then we put him in charge of leaking stuff, you know, that we want leaked. I'm pretty sure he's still gonna leak some stuff that we don't want leaked, but, you know, whatever. We won't fire him for that. We'll let him get some. Let him get you guys some good info, so you guys don't have to worry about that.
So for the new lasers, you need to get 3 items. One's grindable, one is through daily quests, and one is through weekly quests. Obviously the balance, and we're not going to go into the details of how that's balanced out to get each type of laser, but that's going to be how you're going to upgrade, and then take those to the assembly, and off you go.
All right, so I think, you know, this is a good time to kind of switch over and to talk about something that we have coming up, that we mentioned earlier a little bit. So we have in the works a new event. Currently, it's scheduled to take place in March. So in the near future, and so basically, I can tell you a little bit about this event right now. Everything is not final yet, so I don't want to give out too much information. But the first bit of information you guys have already got. So, and I can just confirm it now. will there be new ships in this next event?
Yes, there will be new ships in this next event.
Okay. What ships?
One of them's called the Nemesis. Whoops.
So, there you go, guys. The Nemesis. It has been, spoken of. You guys were excited about it. You guys asked about it over and over. And it will be making its way into the game. Hopefully in March. We're currently on schedule. Everything is looking good for that. And I'm excited. The ship looks super cool. Has cool abilities. I think you guys are gonna really like it. So this next event, it's
to say so. Something in the next event, is going to involve you being able to get the Nemesis, or potentially there might be other ships there that you can which you can craft, and it's not just going to be the event. Things are going to travel from one event to another in one way or another. I'm not going to give much more detail about that, but
can you maybe tell us the name of the new event that's coming up?
Yeah, the new event is going to be called Hatching Out, and we live in your nightmares.
Whoa, okay. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, as you guys know, Phil is our senior narrative designer, and I know he has some stuff up his sleeve, and you guys might think that he tells me everything just because I work here. That's not the case. Sometimes I get surprised too by things. So we always try to get a little bit of information out of this guy, Yeah, so I mean, in this new event, can you maybe describe the event a little bit? Maybe give the people give them an idea of what they can expect.
An old enemy returns in a different form, and you're gonna have to hunt it down and kill it. By killing it, you will reveal something to do with what happened at the end of the 10th anniversary video and what happened at the end of the destruction of Mask, and that will lead on into the April event as well.
Yeah, I read something about some oil or something that's going to be introduced to the game. I'm not really sure.
We don't talk about the oil.
We don't talk about the oil.
No, we don't talk about the oil.
Well, then we won't talk about the oil. But I'm interested because, it's oil. We'll have to see. We always have good times when people chase oil, right?
Are there any plans to introduce a new website design?
Yes, there actually are. I actually sat in one meeting already about this. It's something that I'll be taking under my wing. We do want to modernize, across the board, have a better look for things. So new website design is coming. We have some new landing pages, new banners and stuff for you guys to see. We want everything to look better and look up to date. We are a 10-year-old game, but that doesn't mean we have to, look it. So yeah, changes are coming in that aspect soon. How long before you merge some servers? Okay, so this is something that we see all the time, and it's something I can also kind of tackle a little bit. Merging servers is technically a lot harder than a lot of you might think. It's not just simply you can't just simply smash them together and say, hey, you guys play together now. There's a lot of information that has to be passed between the two, and it's a process that might not be worth it in the end. I know there's some servers out there that aren't as populated as others, and that's unfortunate. That's something that we're going to have to try to tackle. One thing I can say is, introducing the crossover zones was going to alleviate that somewhat. That being said, we implemented the crossover zones and we haven't done much with them since then. That's going to change.
Yeah, there are plans.
There are plans. These are solid plans. We have some things coming up. Can't quite reveal it yet because we're not quite final there yet. But that is going to alleviate a lot of that problem of empty servers. So you play on a server that's not quite as populated. In the near future, you'll have a chance to go play on a server with people from everywhere and enjoy a game with full maps. So we know this is an issue. This is something that we're looking into, but the seemingly easy fix of just merging servers is most likely not going to happen. I can tell you that. I won't say 100% on that one because that can change. Things can change sometimes. But I can tell you that I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. But we do have ideas to fix that problem. Okay, let's see what else we got. Oh, that's something else I can talk to you about now. Okay, so the who made the exploit or the bug for Proxium, the players that they were able to take advantage of this. I know this is kind of a big issue. I've been working on it. It's one of the things that's been on my desk now for a couple of weeks, unfortunately. Yes, there will be some kind of punishment for players that took advantage of this exploit. Some people were able to take a very big advantage of this exploit, and it's not fair to other players that, you know, these players now have a severe advantage in the game due to that. That being said, it hasn't been the easiest road to identify these players 100%. So, and I have to be as fair as possible with things like these. That's one of the things that I 100% believe in. If I'm gonna, if I'm gonna punish any player in the game, I 100% want to be sure that it's going to be the right players. And if there's any chance that can happen that somebody will be punished that didn't take part, then that's not the fix that I'm gonna go for. So that's why, I've taken a little bit of extra special care when dealing with this. It's for me, it's the way that I do business, the way that I want to treat you guys. So yes, I'm still on the Proxium exploit issue. No, I can't tell you exactly when it's gonna come out, but when it does, you'll have an announcement from your mods.
Phantom ES, is there any chance of new PvE quests? How many do you want? Yes. Meeting today, and I don't spend all my time in meetings, thank the Lord. A meeting today, and there's a meeting tomorrow where I want to do very, very strongly story-charged quests, which explore the past before the game started, the game history started, and explore the different organisations behind that. And I think that's gives you more content, gives you more things to explore and more things to play, but it also gives you a bigger history and creates a culture around like the DarkOrbit universe.
Okay, let's see. So, will you change to permafrost again? So people are having a hard time getting the unstable LF4. I can tell you that, most likely won't be changing it while it's on right now. We already made one change to the event, and we'd like to maybe keep it as it is for the time being. As you guys know, as Elton told you before, that event was made with, lower to mid-level players in mind. We really wanted them to have a chance to get one of these high-power weapons. Not afraid to say that that's not quite how it worked out. I can see some changes to that event. Should we run it in the future? Some balancing changes to so we can stick to our word and have that event as a way for people to get lower to mid-level players to get these powerful weapons. But that's something we have to do, and we have to look at the numbers again, and not something we want to do in haste. So if we just change the event again now, I don't think it would have as much of an impact as it would if we sat down, really looked at the numbers, and made the changes then.
There's a question about whether you saw really cool things in the DarkOrbit officers, Declan. So.
I did. I sat down and 10 minutes later I was showing all the stats on the new ships. So straight away I got to see loads of stuff. So yeah, seen a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, so what else do we got here? When are we going to change to HTML5? Yeah, I don't know. As soon as I know, I'll tell you. But it's something that might be coming. I've dealt with this Flash issue for quite a while because I've been working in games for a while, and it's no secret that Flash is losing some support recently. Well, not just recently, in the last couple of years. So a lot of people are moving away from that. That being said, it's not like browsers are just going to shut all. You're not going to have the ability to use Flash. I think a lot of people misunderstand what that means when they say that browsers will no longer support Flash. That just means it's not going to be a default setting pretty much in your browser. You're still going to be able to turn it on. It's not going to be an issue. It's not just going to be deleted from the internet. It's not going to happen. And that's a process, a lot of people have to change. There's so much stuff that was based on Flash in the internet on the internet that it's going to take a while for that transition to happen. So there's no need to fear that, the non-support for Flash. It's not anything to fear. It's not going to mean that the game won't be playable in the future. So no worries about that.
Will the scrap drop rate percentage be increased? The whole of the NPC consideration and things like that is going to change drop rates to enhance areas to try and create a sort of level balance throughout the game, and give you more fun, so you're in areas with people of your level and your ability. So that's not really an answer to that question, but yes, most likely it will change, increase somewhere, decrease other places. We'll just have to see.
Okay. Of course, we have to address the question about lags. This is always a question about lags. It's a work in progress, I know you guys hear me say that a lot, but that's just the truth. It's something that we have to continue to work on. We made some changes last week that were kind of a test run to see if we could to boost performance on a couple servers. I can tell you right now it's looking like it worked, but I can't make any promises. On the bigger servers, the more populated servers, I should say, that's just a tougher issue. It's purely a numbers game. It's based on how many people are on there. But this is when we're talking about lag based on that. There's so many different reasons for players to experience lag. So you can't just ask, when are we going to fix the lag? I think you have to really ask the question, when are we going to fix the lag that is purely on us? I guess we could say that. The problems that are purely issues that we can solve on our side. And I can tell you that our tech lead is constantly working on that. And hopefully we'll get better in that area. I know you guys have seen improvements. We can see it on our side, on our data that we get, on our statistics. We can see that things are performing better. And I'm sure you guys are going to see more and more improvements in the future on that.
This is a great question from DarkOrbit and Phantom Mayas. Two questions. Are you making a fourth company? Let me just say that I'm attacking the game with a chainsaw rather than a toothpick. And things will change when the true enemy reveals itself. And you'll have to wait and see. And would you ever consider doing a classic server with old-fashioned graphics and everything? So I understand why players like that idea, and I really, really appreciate it. There's games that I've played where I'm like, I prefer it in the old style than the new style. But for us, it's a case of progressing the product and moving it on. It would effectively be like us making a different game rather than trying to improve on the game that we have and trying to make it more for you as the players. So it's a great question, and I understand the sort of classical feel, but that's not the way that we'll be going.
The other side of it is that which year do you pick?
Yes.
Because there was a survey when this was first brought up where people picked the year they wanted, and it was ranging from 2006 to 2014. It's you can't make 10 servers or whatever. It would just be too much. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we understand. There's always going to be people that prefer the old game, and prefer the old way of doing things. It happens with every game that exists. Some people still want World of Warcraft to go back to the way it was. It's just never going to happen. It's never going to go away. But the thing is, like Phil said, we're really looking forward to the future, and we really want to, make this the best game that we can possibly make. And we need your help to do that. You guys have been playing. We love that we have such an amazing and loyal player base, and it's about time we started to use that. Hence, this guy. We brought him all the way to Hamburg. What more do you want us to do? Come on, that's a good start, right? Yeah, and he's already gotten to work. I can tell you when he was here, he was like you said, he was literally here for 10 minutes, and we had one of our designers going over to him, wanting to show him ship stats and stuff, get his opinion. The poor guy didn't even get a chance to really set up his PC. Just start working, man. But so we're looking forward to a lot of cool stuff in the future. Let's see, we got time for a couple more questions, and I think we'll go ahead and cut it off since we started a bit late today. Why don't you ban the bots like you did last time? Well, we actually ban bots every week. Just so you know, it's not always that many. One thing that I have put back into place is letting my mods know when we ban bots. This is something that'll probably be more on Declan's plate, since it's kind of like a communication with the players issue. But we're gonna start doing that again. We'll start letting you know when we do our waves. We'll let you know how many people have been banned in that wave. I mean, some weeks the numbers can be pretty low, and I know I know there's more bots in the maps than what we're banning. That just goes down purely to how we're detecting at that certain point, what we're looking for at that certain point. As you all know, there's different kinds of bots. They run different ways, run different scripts. They're not all the same, and as we're trying to catch them, they're trying to evolve as well. So that's a game in itself, trying to get all these people out of the game. But you can believe that we want them out of the game. In the end, they're not making us money. Just to put it in pure terms, they're not making us money. People that are botting. So yes, we want them gone just as much as you do.
New maps is definitely a possibility. There's been a lot of questions as well about sort of downloadable, the HTML5 issue and things like this. So I just want to reiterate some things that like Ron has said and talking in much more general terms. So DarkOrbit is a 10-year-old game, so it has a lot of like code that was created back in like the day and things like this. To retool the whole game takes time, and it has to be seen as like a value for money exercise for you and for us, and it's really, really important that if we do decide to do this, that we decide to do it at the right time and make sure that systems are in place. So at this point in time, Elton, me, Ron and Declan, Miguel, all the team, design team, are trying to create like systems and things that we can integrate to make your experience better, and hopefully give us that breathing time to like consider doing something major, like reworking the whole game and making it either downloadable or just open for many more browsers. It's a hard thing to like consider, but that's pretty much an honest answer.
Yeah, there you go. So you guys have seen, with Phil and with Elton and myself, the way that we handle giving you guys information and answering you guys. We try to be as honest as possible. It doesn't do us any good to give you false information or to give you false hopes. That's not what we're looking for. It's not what we're doing. We're not trying to drag you along as we go. We're all 100% dedicated to making this the best game it could possibly be, and I hope you guys can see that. I think you can.
And many of you, when we see the questions, we know what type of questions are going to come up, and Declan will be in exactly the same position that he sees some of these things, and he's just like, no, I've seen this again and again and again. Some issues we can't address every Twitch stream. We appreciate that. Every so often we'll come back and discuss things like ships that you feel are overpowered and things like this. But let's try and get you tools to get past that and give you some of the advantages if you play in a certain way. And I think the whole game experience will improve.
Yeah, with the tournaments, it'll probably be set up like the Turkish one does. So I've only been here 6 hours, so I don't really know how it works. So,
well, how do you like that for motivation, folks? Yes. He's been here for 6 hours, and he's already He's already said you're getting tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say it. It's gonna happen. You know, with these things, it's up to him. If this is the project that he wants to do, he can do it. And you heard him. He said he's gonna do it. So expect some news on that. You know, he's just starting, so give him a little bit of time. Don't stress him too much. But yeah, I'm sure you guys will be hearing something about that quite soon. Yeah, so skill duration for the Sentinel, that's another question. That's something that we can answer later, maybe more when Eldon's here, because that's something that has to be talked about, you know, with the game designers, the balancers, and devs. Everybody has to kind of get together with decisions like this, and it's not, you know, it's not just one person sitting there arranging a slider, you know. In the end, you know, actually fixing it is not that, or changing it is not that much of an issue, but you have to consider the scope of making changes in a game like this. You know, you take one thing away over here, you nerf something over here, it has an effect that maybe you didn't even think it could have on the game, on the economy, on everything in the game, the way the battles work. These are things that, you know, you can't always see when you're making that change. You can't just think about the little circle, the change you're making inside that little circle. You got to think about the ripples that it sends out everywhere.
I think we've probably gone.
Yeah, so I think we've gone long enough for today, folks. We had some technical issues in the beginning. I'm sorry about that again. I'll try to get a little better with technical stuff. I thought it was working, but, you know, that's what you get for assuming. You know, should never do that.
It's really cool that you hung with us and we've had a lot of people like on live, which is absolutely fantastic. So absolutely awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us. We'll be signing off now. Yeah, it was great to